This is the truth about success. It demands a new you. Success is not hiding from you. It is not avoiding you. It is not unfairly distributed to a chosen few. Success is standing in front of you, asking one question: who must you become to deserve me? That is the truth most people never confront. They want the rewards without the reinvention. They want the outcomes without the overhaul. They want the title, the income, the physique, the influence, but they want to keep the same habits, the same thinking patterns, the same emotional reactions that created their current reality. It does not work that way. The life you have is a reflection of the identity you have accepted. And if 2026 is going to be different, you cannot remain the same. This is not about adding more to your plate. It is about transforming the person holding the plate. Look at the giants of history. Thomas Edison did not stumble into invention by accident. He became a man obsessed with experimentation. Andrew Carnegie did not inherit industrial dominance. He cultivated relentless strategic thinking. Walt Disney did not simply build an empire. He became a visionary who could see magic where others saw risk. Abraham Lincoln endured defeat after defeat, and through that adversity, he became the leader history required. Success demanded a new version of them, and it will demand a new version of you. You cannot think like your past and expect a different future. Mindset is not a cliché, it is architecture, it is the blueprint of your behavior. Every action you take is rooted in what you believe is possible, what you believe you deserve, and what you believe you are capable of handling. If you secretly believe wealth is for other people, you will sabotage opportunity. If you believe discipline is suffering, you will avoid structure. If you believe you are not enough, you will shrink in rooms you were meant to lead. Belief is the invisible engine of achievement. Change your beliefs and you alter your decisions. Alter your decisions and you alter your destiny. But belief alone is not enough. You must gain clarity. Vague goals create vague effort. I want to be successful means nothing. Successful how? Financially, physically, emotionally, spiritually? With what standards? On what timeline? Clarity sharpens focus. When you know exactly what you are building, distractions lose power. When you define your standards, excuses weaken. When you visualize your future in detail, your brain begins scanning for alignment. Vision is not fantasy, it is direction. In 2026, the world will move faster than ever. Technology will accelerate, competition will intensify, comfort will become more accessible and more dangerous. Without vision, you will drift. With vision, you will command. Close your eyes and imagine the strongest version of yourself at the end of this year. How does that person speak? How does that person wake up? What do they tolerate? What do they refuse? How do they respond to pressure? That version already exists in potential, but potential is powerless without discipline. Discipline is where transformation becomes visible. Discipline is waking up when the alarm rings and moving before your mind negotiates. Discipline is training your body when comfort whispers to stay still. Discipline is saying no to impulses that sabotage long-term growth. Most people view discipline as restriction. It is liberation, because discipline frees you from the prison of mood. When your actions are tied to how you feel, your progress becomes unstable. When your actions are tied to your standards, your progress becomes inevitable. Standards create structure. Structure creates momentum. Momentum creates belief, and belief reinforces identity. This is the cycle of success. But understand this clearly. Growth will feel uncomfortable. You will feel stretched. You will feel exposed. You will feel moments of doubt when the old version of you tries to reclaim control. That discomfort is evidence of evolution. When a muscle grows, it tears first. When a mindset expands, it confronts contradiction. When a leader rises, they endure criticism. Pain is not proof that you are failing. It is proof that you are adapting. Resilience is built through friction. When Henry Ford faced bankruptcy and ridicule, he did not retreat into comfort. He recalibrated, he refined, he persisted. That is resilience, not blind stubbornness, but adaptive persistence. You must become adaptive. The path will not unfold exactly as planned. Strategies will fail, timelines will shift, unexpected obstacles will appear. Do not collapse, adjust. Detach emotionally from methods while remaining fiercely committed to your mission. Success does not demand perfection, it demands persistence, and persistence is sustained by purpose. Why do you want more? Why do you want growth? Why does success matter to you beyond ego? Purpose anchors ambition. Without purpose, success becomes hollow. With purpose, it becomes fuel. When your goals serve something larger than your comfort, your family, your impact, your legacy, your tolerance for difficulty expands. You stop asking, "Is this hard?" You start asking, "Is this necessary?" Gratitude must walk beside your ambition. Gratitude keeps your hunger healthy. It prevents comparison from poisoning your progress. It reminds you that growth is a privilege. Be grateful for the lessons in failure, grateful for the resistance that sharpens you, grateful for the chance to become more. Learning must become your lifestyle. The moment you think you know enough, you begin to decline. Study your craft, study psychology, study communication, study finance, study leadership. The world belongs to those who evolve faster than circumstances. Evolution requires humility. Admit where you are weak, admit where you procrastinate, admit where fear has been steering your choices, then decide differently. This is the truth about success. It does not ask you to try harder, it asks you to become stronger. It does not reward comfort, it rewards courage. It does not respond to wishful thinking, it responds to aligned action taken consistently over time. 2026 will not transform you automatically. You must transform yourself deliberately. Wake up earlier, think deeper, execute faster, reflect honestly, correct quickly, persist relentlessly. Build habits that your future self will thank you for. Eliminate habits that your future self will resent you for. Step into rooms that intimidate you. Have conversations that stretch you. Invest in skills that compound. Hold yourself to standards that intimidate your current circle. And when doubt appears, as it will, remember that doubt is simply your old identity resisting replacement. Do not negotiate with it, outwork it, outgrow it, outlast it. Because on the other side of disciplined evolution stands a version of you that moves differently, thinks differently, commands differently. A version of you that does not chase success, but embodies it. Success is not something you achieve, it's something you align with. When your habits reflect excellence, when your mindset reflects abundance, when your discipline reflects commitment, when your resilience reflects strength, success becomes the natural outcome of who you are. So if you want a new level of results, build a new level of self. If you want greater rewards, cultivate greater responsibility. If you want influence, master your emotions. If you want wealth, master your value. If you want freedom, master your impulses. Reinvent yourself with intention. Let 2026 be the year you stop asking for easier paths and start building stronger character. Let it be the year you replace hesitation with execution. Let it be the year you stop wishing and start becoming. Because the truth remains unshakable. Success is not waiting for you to feel ready. It is waiting for you to rise. And when you rise, fully, decisively, unapologetically, you will realize that the door was never locked. It was simply waiting for a new you to walk through it.
And when you walk through that door, you will not hear applause. You will hear resistance. Because every new level introduces new pressure. Every expanded identity introduces expanded responsibility. The moment you decide to become more, life responds by demanding more. This is where many retreat, not because they lack talent, but because they misunderstand the cost. Success is not a prize, it is a burden carried by those strong enough to hold it. You want influence? Then you must withstand criticism. You want wealth? Then you must handle uncertainty. You want leadership? Then you must regulate emotion under fire. A new you is required, because an old you would crumble under the weight of new opportunities. This is the hidden truth. The reason most people plateau is not lack of opportunity, it is lack of internal capacity. Capacity is built deliberately. You expand it through discipline, through discomfort, through exposure to challenges that stretch your limits, through choosing growth when comfort would be easier. Think about the transformation of a nation during its darkest hour. When Abraham Lincoln led through division and war, he did not rely on charisma alone. He cultivated emotional control, strategic patience, and moral conviction under unbearable stress. The circumstances demanded a larger version of him, and he answered. History does not remember comfort, it remembers courage. Your personal history will be no different. In 2026, you cannot afford passive ambition. You cannot afford casual effort. You cannot afford emotional fragility disguised as sensitivity. Emotional mastery is power. When you control your internal state, you control your decisions. When you control your decisions, you control your direction. When you control your direction, you influence your destiny. Most people are controlled by reaction. They react to criticism. They react to fear. They react to temporary setbacks. But reaction is weakness. Response is strength. A new you responds with strategy. You do not panic when results are delayed. You analyze, you adjust, you persist. You do not collapse when someone doubts you. You refine your skill until doubt becomes irrelevant. You do not chase validation, you build value. Value is the currency of success. If you want greater income, increase your value. If you want greater respect, increase your contribution. If you want greater freedom, increase your responsibility. The marketplace does not reward need, it rewards usefulness. Become undeniably useful. Study relentlessly, improve daily, sharpen your communication, elevate your thinking, strengthen your body, protect your energy. Energy management is as critical as time management. A distracted mind cannot build a focused future. A depleted body cannot sustain elite performance. A negative emotional state cannot attract high-level opportunity. Guard your inputs. What you read, what you watch, who you listen to, who you surround yourself with. Your environment shapes your expectations, and your expectations shape your execution. If you are surrounded by small thinking, you will unconsciously shrink. If you are surrounded by mediocrity, you will normalize average. Raise your standards. Standards are silent contracts you make with yourself about what you will tolerate. Raise them financially, raise them physically, raise them emotionally, raise them professionally. Stop tolerating excuses from yourself. Excuses are stories crafted to protect identity, but if you are building a new identity, excuses must die. The new you does not say, "I'll start tomorrow." The new you says, "I start now." The new you does not say, "I'm not ready." The new you says, "I'll grow into it." The new you does not say, "What if I fail?" The new you says, "What will I learn?" Learning is the secret weapon of the elite. Failure is feedback, criticism is information, delay is development. Every obstacle contains instruction. When Thomas Edison tested thousands of variations before perfecting the light bulb, he reframed failure as discovery. That mental frame allowed persistence. That persistence created innovation. Adopt that frame. You are not behind, you are building. You are not rejected, you are refining. You are not stuck, you are preparing. But preparation must lead to execution. Vision without action is fantasy. Action without vision is chaos.
Combine them, and you create momentum. Momentum builds confidence. Confidence builds boldness. Boldness attracts opportunity. Opportunity tests readiness. And because you have become new, you are ready. Ready not because fear disappeared, but because discipline overruled it. Ready not because doubt vanished, but because belief expanded. Ready not because conditions are perfect, but because your character is stronger. Character is the ultimate advantage. It cannot be outsourced, it cannot be purchased, it cannot be faked for long. Character is who you are when no one is watching. It is the consistency between your words and your actions. It is the courage to do what is right when it is inconvenient. In 2026, character will separate leaders from pretenders. Develop integrity with yourself. Keep promises to yourself. Follow through even when no one would know if you didn't. Self-trust compounds, and when you trust yourself deeply, the world begins to trust you too. This is how transformation becomes visible. Your posture changes, your speech sharpens, your decisions accelerate, your tolerance for distraction decreases. You stop seeking shortcuts, you commit to mastery. Mastery takes time, but identity shifts happen immediately. Decide who you are becoming. Decide what you no longer tolerate. Decide what standards define you. Then align your daily behavior with that decision relentlessly. Because success does not demand a slightly improved version of you. It demands a redefined you, a disciplined you, a focused you, a resilient you, a courageous you. And when you fully accept that truth, when you stop negotiating with growth and start embodying it, you will feel something powerful rise inside you. Not arrogance, certainty. Certainty that your future is not random. Certainty that your effort matters. Certainty that the gap between where you are and where you want to be is not permanent. It is temporary resistance waiting for a stronger version of you. So become that version, not gradually, not someday, now.